She don't play for the Fever yet. She want to get down with the get down. She see what's going on.
In today's modern professional sports landscape, there are two very different types of players who try to align themselves with a once-in-a-generation superstar. The first type is a calculated veteran, the enforcer, someone who sees a championship window opening and willingly sacrifices personal stats to protect and elevate the franchise cornerstone. But then there's a second type, the clout chaser, the player who watches television ratings explode, arenas sell out, and social media algorithms go viral, and suddenly tries to attach themselves to that superstar's ecosystem purely for personal brand growth and financial gain. Right now, the Indiana Fever sit at the center of that storm. Caitlin Clark has generated a financial tidal wave so massive that free agents across the league are scrambling to find a way onto a Fever roster. As the front office works to build a sustainable championship core around Clark, a potentially dangerous trend is emerging. Players publicly campaigning to join the team, wearing Fever merchandise, and subtly pushing narratives online to insert themselves into the Caitlin Clark business model. And while Indiana clearly needs defensive reinforcements, bringing in the wrong personality could disrupt chemistry and destabilize a multi-million-dollar offensive system. All of this is unfolding under the looming shadow of league-wide CBA tensions, with major power dynamics in play across the basketball world. What we're witnessing isn't just free agency. It's a calculated scramble to enter the gravitational pull of the biggest economic force in the WNBA today.
I don't know what it is, Scrabble. I don't know what it is, but what she got on? She got on Indiana Fever merch. She don't play for the Fever yet. She want to get down with the get down. She see what's going on.
She sees a movement. She understands the opportunity, and she clearly wants to be part of it. From a pure basketball standpoint, this is exactly the kind of physical presence the Indiana Fever should be evaluating. At 6 feet 3 inches and 185 pounds, she offers rim protection, perimeter switchability, and the physical strength to set punishing screens, the traits of a true defensive enforcer. Throughout basketball history, iconic offensive superstars have always relied on that type of presence beside them. Michael Jordan had Charles Oakley and Dennis Rodman to absorb contact and handle the physical battles. Stephen Curry has Draymond Green orchestrating the defense and doing the gritty work that keeps the system intact. Caitlin Clark, who endured heavy physical play and constant targeting during her rookie season, needs a strong, disciplined protector, someone willing to defend hard, establish toughness, and make opponents think twice before attacking the franchise guard. However, physical tools are only a small part of the equation. The far more important factor is psychological alignment. The Fever front office cannot make decisions based solely on size and defensive stats. They must carefully evaluate motivation and mindset. Is this player coming to set screens, rebound, and fully support Clark's role as offensive engine? Or is she looking to expand her own brand, increase her usage, and compete for the spotlight? The WNBA has already shown how quickly things can unravel when ego disrupts structure. When a player joins a high-profile team and tries to establish themselves as the alpha instead of strengthening the system, chemistry suffers and the entire foundation weakens. That is the worst-case scenario Indiana must avoid at all costs, because building around a generational talent requires discipline, sacrifice, and complete buy-in from everyone in the locker room.
For here and robbing us, we don't need no more of that, okay? We damn sure don't need no more Natasha Howards coming over here talking about winning MVP, trying to bring the ball up the court and not giving it to Caitlin Clark.
We do not need. The Indiana Fever cannot afford another Natasha Howard situation. You don't bring someone into the most efficient, high-paced offense in the league and allow them to suddenly demand ball-dominant control, MVP conversations, and a shift away from the system built around Caitlin Clark. When a historically secondary option tries to transform into the headline hero under national television lights, the entire offensive geometry collapses. Spacing tightens, transition slows, and the fast-paced, high-efficiency Clark Center system gets replaced by stagnant isolation basketball that drains momentum and fractures locker room chemistry. If a player wants to join the Indiana Fever, they must fully accept the hierarchy before stepping into the building. This is Clark's universe, and every roster move must reinforce that reality. A role similar to Sophie Cunningham. Capitalize on increased visibility while embracing open shots, defensive grit, and team-first execution is valuable and welcome. But the moment a free agent starts prioritizing personal usage rate or individual MVP aspirations over structure, that's a red flag the front office cannot ignore. Yet even building the perfect roster may prove meaningless if the league's financial foundation destabilizes. The looming collective bargaining tensions threaten the broader stability of the WNBA itself. The Players Association is pushing for unprecedented revenue sharing, guaranteed benefits, and dramatically expanded salary structures, operating under the belief that recent rating spikes provide negotiating leverage. However, leverage...
A lot of people out here are a little bit confused or have lost the plot that the NBA really does call a lot of the shots, and Adam Silver could have and should have been more prevalent and vocal of a role than he has been.
When he says they're approaching the 11th hour, but refuses to set a hard deadline, that's corporate language with layers beneath it. What it signals is patience, not panic. It suggests that leadership is willing to let negotiations run their course rather than force a rushed resolution. From a business standpoint, decisions at that level are rarely emotional. They're calculated, measured, and rooted in long-term financial sustainability. The broader structure of the WNBA is deeply connected to the financial ecosystem of the National Basketball Association and ultimately overseen by Commissioner Adam Silver. That means negotiations aren't happening in isolation. They're happening within a larger corporate framework that prioritizes stability, projections, and risk management. There's often a misconception that the league functions as a completely independent, self-sustaining financial entity with unlimited leverage. In reality, professional sports leagues operate within layered ownership structures, shared revenue models, and carefully managed investment strategies. When negotiations over a collective bargaining agreement reach a critical stage, the central question becomes sustainability. What can a league realistically support long-term without destabilizing an entire operation? The real power dynamic isn't about headlines or social media momentum. It's about capital flow, ownership structure, and strategic oversight. And understanding who ultimately controls the financial architecture is key to understanding how this situation will unfold.
A lot of people out here are a little bit confused or have lost the plot that the NBA really does call a lot of the shots, and Adam Silver could have and should have been more prevalent and vocal of a role than he has been.
The power structure in professional basketball is more layered than most fans realize. The National Basketball Association holds a significant ownership stake in the WNBA and plays a major role in infrastructure, media negotiations, and long-term financial strategy. That means Commissioner Adam Silver is not a distant observer. He's part of the broader ecosystem, guiding its sustainability. When discussions around revenue sharing and collective bargaining intensify, the conversation ultimately centers on financial viability, long-term league stability, operating margins, media rights obligations, and global expansion strategies all factor into the equation. From a corporate perspective, decisions are rarely about short-term momentum. They're about protecting the structure for decades, not seasons. At the same time, players are looking at surging visibility, increased ratings, and the economic spark generated by stars like Caitlin Clark and seeing opportunity. That tension between immediate growth optimism and long-term fiscal caution is where the real battle sits. Some players are actively positioning themselves to join the Indiana Fever, hoping to benefit from that spotlight. But roster construction and labor negotiations are two separate battlefields. On the court, the Fever must prioritize chemistry, role clarity, and defensive balance. Off the court, ownership and union leadership must find a sustainable agreement that doesn't overextend the league's financial model. The broader question isn't whether one side is winning or losing. It's whether both sides can recognize their mutual dependence. Owners control capital and infrastructure. Players drive entertainment value and cultural momentum. If